mate. How you doing?
Yeah, very well, you?
I'm alright, yeah.
Good.
Very lovely day today. Perfect day for exploring.
Exactly.
First off, we haven't broken in, so there you go. But today we're doing another one of these drainage adits in a certain place. If you know, you know. We'll say it again. If you put it down in the comments, unfortunately we're going to delete it because it is very dangerous. This one today is probably one of the more, it's definitely not one of the most sketchiest ones, but it's definitely up there. Yeah. And as we're recording this, we need to wear our wellies, but the beautiful spring water is keeping them nice and cool.
Very much.
Exciting.
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go in first, and yeah, we'll see you on the other side. Come on. Let's do it. Hello everybody, welcome back. So, this is one of the more flooded adits, which is slightly more sketchy in nature, as we sort of said before. Wellies are just about covering it. But when I say just about, I mean every step is kind of like just a sort of gauge of how careful, but now as I'm talking to you, it's starting to level out. So just as a cautionary tale, these are my Wellingtons, you can see just above, but we're okay. It's actually the entrance, like with most of them, which is the most sketchiest thing. So anyway, beautiful spring water, this, spring fed. And they're drainage adits, really. You could call them culverts. We turn around, there's Mr. Paul. Hello, mate. And yeah. So, really, the idea was that you're really there to divert the spring water down onto, effectively, the coast. And above us, again, I'm sure most of you know, is a train line. And that train line doesn't want to get wet, along with the rest of the landfall that's there. But I can safely say that they do a relatively good job. But I'll just turn you around. They are all in various different shapes, sizes, etc., etc. And some of them are extremely sketchy. This one is sketchy, and you'll find out when we go a little bit further in. And here we are at our concrete little post here. It's just a bit of a reinforcement, as you can sort of see. And again, that's where the concrete is, that's where Paul is, just a little speck there, there you go. So we're just going to duck in and go. And this is where it gets lovely and cosy. I mean, like really cosy, because I'm properly crouched down there. There we go. Oh, lovely. And then it opens up again. Yeah, that's a proper little crouch job, that. There you go. And then, going to keep going for a little bit. Just going to move it forward. Yeah. You could sort of argue that this is one of the longer drainage adits, and we're coming up to a bit that for most people would potentially have them running back quite quickly, because it's not exactly the most appealing of sights when you see it. And as we're going through, always turning back, so this goes into a little bit of a U-bend here. Well, not a U-bend, just a bit of a bend. Dramatic if it was a U-bend. But yeah, we'll keep going. Yeah, so this is the unsafe bit. As much as anything is unsafe. So you can see that what's happened, everybody, sadly there's been a big collapse there. You can see that? There you go. It's gone through. And, I'm just going to politely go around. So that's galt clay, which is a very sticky substance. You can also see here, everybody, where it's bowed from the weight. And it's, yeah, not nice to sort of see that that's on its way. I think, everybody, almost near the end, which is a blessed relief. Well, it's not really, because there's only one way in and one way out, which is the same way. So if anything behind me is going to collapse, well, I'm going to be stuck. It's going to be an awfully big old job to do, but like we said before, I've been doing this for 25, coming up to 30 years now, and you've just got to go with your instincts, your gut. And here we are, everybody, right at the end. Hopefully you can see this. Squelching is partially because a bit of the water, I will honestly admit, went over my legs. Because that's how professional I am. But there you are, everybody, we made it to the end of the drainage adit. And we just hope we can get back safely without it collapsing on us. Stand running water. So there we go. Right, turn you around. Hello, I'm going to head back because these are the types of places I really don't want to spend that long in. Because like I said, if I'm trapped in here, I'm actually trapped. And it can only, and we're on an ever-changing coastline of erosion. So yeah, don't want to chance our luck, everybody. So we'll turn around and we'll head back. Come on. Right, let's go. Alright, everybody, we're back. Back on track. So yeah, I mean, these drainage adits are really interesting. You could call them culverts potentially because they are pushing the water through, or they're there. Most of the spring water, as you could sort of see, is beautifully clear, as I sort of said before. And it's a shame to see it being so wastefully wasted going into the sea, because it's absolutely clear. Yeah. So we've got a small section here that's sketchy, because you can see where there's been clearly a big old section of landfall and weight that's been exerted on this. And imagine the amount of pressure that's taken for these to effectively bow and crack. That I think, well, look at that. Yeah, it's definitely not safe, but as I'm moving underneath it, every move forward, I sort of feel a little bit like, yep. But look at that. Look at that bowing there. You can see in context just all the weight of that cliff. And the echo makes it really weird, because you kind of, you know, it's easy. We like I said, because I've done this so many times before on these, it can fool you. Kind of think, oh, well, it sounds like somebody's in front of us, but it's not. It's basically your echo. See? Hang on. I'll do it if you can hear it. Hello? 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 Yeah. Delayed. Hello? Hopefully that's coming out on the camera. But it sounds like someone's there. And it's just your voice. It's just bouncing back off the wooden sleepers. As we turn around, there's that clay unfortunately. In a matter of, you know, I mean, it's quite possible that won't take much again for that to happen. And again, because we're under a train line, or part of a train line, obviously you can imagine the rumbling of that, moving it. And then as we see, as we're getting further back into the drainage adit, tunnel, however you want to call it, the water starts to become a little bit deeper and deeper. Hopefully you can hear me. And you get these beautiful colours again of where the calcification, like scaling on a kettle, is sort of forming, producing this beautiful patterning. Again, wonderful. Looking back, just pitch black. I'll turn the torch, look, sort of looking at everybody, nothing. And so we'll keep going. And again, this is me looking forward. So, yeah. There we go. And then this is the bit that I dread. Because I've got to tuck in. This is where the water really opens up. So you've got this beautiful little concrete drain, and you can see all of a sudden the water's started to build up, and it's about halfway in there. So you've got your wooden sleepers here. And then if we keep going, I've got a really duck here, it's very narrow. Look, if I pin you back, look at that. And then I can see pool in front of me, which is great, but I can't actually see until I open up how far I am out. And I keep going, keep going, keep going. Great bit of exercise. And away we go. Ooh, and in that beautiful moment you can stand up. Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah,
yeah, really good.
good.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. And that's why, everybody, on places like this, you should always bring someone with you. Because, especially if there's a one way in, one way out. And on this channel, like we said before, we're not here to encourage you to do this, we're just here to show you and document. In some cases, really bad sections here, look, where the wood is just completely rotted away and pushed out. And then the tricky bit is going to happen soon, where it's going to be a little bit deeper than I thought it was. So my wellies, unfortunately, might get a little bit wet. It's okay because it's a beautifully sunny day, and they'll dry pretty quick. In fact, they actually already have whilst I've been in here. So again, looking down. So really that's where most of the water's come from, is the wooden slats that are in that concrete there. But again, always check in about where you've got to put your feet, because some of these big old rivets will trip you up. So just big steps. And then it's starting to get deeper. This is where I've got to negotiate. So do I turn my torch off? No, I'm going to keep it on for a little bit. And then if you hear me start going, ah, it's because the water has effectively gone over my wellies. And as you can see, pool there, very dry. And we'll say very dry for a change, but we won't go into that story. I'm alright, mate, but I'm going to probably get a little bit more now. It's starting to get a bit moist in my booties. And obviously the snails, I don't really want one of them floating buggers in my thing. Right, I'm going to turn the torch off for obvious reasons, don't want to blind the old boy.
Thank you.
I won't pass it over to you, I'm just going to be very We do this all in one, and if I fall over, everybody, you can knock your arms off. There we go. Right. Yeah, I've just got a little bit. Look, floating snails, everybody. Look. Right, and we'll just take one more look back. There you go. Very cool. Right. Report when we're done. Let's do it. Well, mate, we're done.
We are literally done.
We've had a lovely little walk today, actually.
Very nice.
Which wasn't, you know, we thought we'd just make the most of it today. We both had a day off in the week.
Yeah.
We're like, let's just go out for a little adventure today, and more of a follow-up, really.
Yeah.
Depending on when things come out, really. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Please, we'll say it again. If you know it, keep it to yourself, because we'll just delete it, please. We don't, the reason is because we don't, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Enough for people that they could hurt themselves.
Yeah.
We don't want to be responsible for that. We also didn't break in either. As if you already didn't realise that already. But thoughts and feelings, mate. You had a bloody good go in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
We both got a little bit wet.
We got a little bit trench foot, shall we say? Yeah, no, another really good one, Dan. Lovely day, lovely location as usual. Hope you guys enjoy it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, mate. And in
Thanks,
more
mate.
words of Phoenix history, because history matters, well, there was a bit of history to this. I'm going to let you compare first, all right, mate?
Yeah.
Ready, everybody? Right,
Let's
see you
go.
later. Kapow!